Welcome back to Dublin Comics, another unboxing video. It's probably like our 575th one at this stage, but I digest. Today we're actually going to look at the new adventures of Batman. Dark Knight Repack. Basically, this was an episode of the animated series where a couple of kids were sitting around talking about the myth and the legend that is Batman. Is he real? What does he do? And what happened in that episode is one segment was actually taken directly from The Dark Knight Returns, which is basically where these designs are taken from. Frank Miller's classic story of a retired Batman coming out of retirement to basically take on a new threat to the city, led by the mutant gang and basically all the lawlessness that's happened since the time of the superheroes. Carrie Kelly dons the Robin outfit and basically helps Batman in his crusade. But it's a great. I won't ruin anymore. It's a great story. Go and check it out. We actually have copies of it here in the shop. It's actually one of the seminal things of Batman from it's nearly 30, 40 years old at this stage now, and it's probably one of the best Batman stories ever made and totally reinvented him. So the Tim Burton movie from 1989, everything you're seeing has all come from The Dark Knight, so he's all owed thanks to Frank Miller. Fans of the readers and writers of the show and creators actually big fans of it as well, so they actually made this segment of the cartoon based on it. And until we got the Dark Knight Returns animated movie a few years ago, this was the closest we got to it, with Michael Ironside playing Batman as well, so that was pretty cool. But enough about that, let's open up and see what it does. As always with the DC stuff, if you want to keep your boxes intact, basically slice it open. It should come out all together. This way you can see they're all packed in a tray. It's similar to DC Collectibles and everything else. So, let's see what we got. First thing I noticed about this box set is it's pretty heavy. That's due to the fact that Batman is pretty big. I'll show you how big compared to the Batman figures now in a minute. Okay, tray is standard bits and pieces for DC Collectibles as well. So, as always, if you want, you can take them. Oh, you can unbind all these unbinders and twisty ties and everything else. And what we do to keep things people prefer is we just basically snip them out carefully, not to hit any of the plastic or the actual pieces of things themselves. So let's try the mutant leader first. And there. Oh, there's a few more. So let's see. Again, you need to create space. These are all put in, heated up and poured into the thing, so to keep them secure and snug. So always give them a bit of movement as well, to make sure if you don't want to lose any parts of the figures. As great as the Batman animated series line is, there are fallbacks in the figures themselves, in that you will get like some really thick, heavy parts, and then some really thin, awkward parts, which could be prone to breakages. But we take our time with them as well. And in fairness to DC, we've had less and less people coming in to get stuff repaired, so they're actually improving quality and the materials and everything else, and where joints go and everything else. So there's the mutant leader, and we'll take Harry out now. This is another version of Robin at the time. There's been many Robins over the years, but at the time there was only herself and Dick Grayson, and then came along the likes of Jason Todd and Tim Drake, and then everybody's current favourite, Damien. So there is female Robin, Carrie Kelly. So we'll show what she can do. She comes with her little and now for the main event. Here we have 50-year-old Bruce Wayne putting back on his costume, fits like a glove, and he ain't taking no guff from nobody. So if you thought he was angry before, wait till you see a futuristic dystopian Batman. Now this guy is pretty chunky, so you can see the restriction. Force him out of the box. As usual with Batman stuff, they'll have the cape on the back, so it feels like it's a rubber cape this time as well, not a felt one like on the Expressions pack. So I think I've cut everywhere. Oh, you might have missed one. There we go. And there is Batman. Straight away you can see that's a whole hefty figure. So let's just do a quick comparison. Normal Batman, super chunky Batman. As you can see, he stands pretty good for what he is so far, straight out of the box, like the Expressions pack one. And just for height and comparison, you can, I don't know how that got to that, but for the purposes of the episode, because it was basically a fantasy episode and people talking about what their version of Batman was, so it basically represents the idea of what Batman was. So straight away out of the box, the figure, like their Clayface and all the other big chunky figures, has bigger, thicker parts. The articulation is pretty good straight off. No ankle articulation. See if it's got waist articulation. Yes, it's got waist articulation slightly. The belt is stopping a bit. And then what's the head? Oh, the head's on a nice pivot there. So you can get some angry little Frankie Miller type poses. So let's see. Can't exactly have him crouching on rooftops, stretching out his knees. But you can kind of, straight away, you can kind of get into a classic pose. And basically the mutant leader, as in the scene, challenges him, so he just comes out of the Batmobile all kind of come here and I bait you kind of attitude. So straight away Batman, nice chunky figure. Bit limited in the old articulation and what you can do pose wise, but looks very intimidating. Look well on the shelf. It kind of has a Blocko kind of pop almost look to him, but trust me, this is the way he was in the episode. Unlike the actual Dark Knight Returns animated movie where they base it more on the actual book, whereas this is like a stylized version. So in comparison, if you wanted to have Batman and Robin together, Carrie on the other hand, like Riddler, Catwoman, all the rest of the pieces, she may be a bit stiff in areas. Again, with these you want to have a bit of hot water or a heat gun, no not a heat gun, but a hairdryer anyway, a low setting, and if any of the joints feel a bit tighter at them, just give them a bit of movement. If they're too much resistance, give them a heat blast or dip in the water, and they should be able to move with ease and risk not breaking. Okay, gotten no waist movement there. I'm not going to keep slamming it around. The arm movement standard with most of the animated stuff as well, so as you can see there's a bit of resistance there, so I'm going to just, there we go. Again, take your time, or if you don't want to risk it, just heat them up slightly. But Carrie is there. And again, she comes with a rubber cape, not a claw cape as well. So just stand her beside Batman. And that's them two. So look well together straight out of the box. Now, get to the main event. There was a Mezco 112 collective set made up with these guys as well, so if you want to get super detailed and more like the comic, there's that set as well. But for the time being, in terms of animation world, this is the mutant leader. He crush your bones, he do everything else. He's got nipples that could take your eyes out. Ah, they're rubber nipples. So, and then these spikes are rubber as well, so no fear of stabbing yourself or hitting anybody, or if you chuck out the room, you can't use them as a weapon. Similar to Batman, he's got a pivot head. Actually, and like the Clayface figures, he's got a bit of movement in the ab. Has he got? Yeah, he's got waist side to side. And then, as with the rest of the animated series, legs movement is kind of limited, but unlike Batman, he does have articulation. Looks like he's wearing leotards there. So you can kind of get him to a bit more of articulated pose and everything else. So let's see if we can have him fighting Batman. Again, action figures, they're supposed to do action stuff as well. So if people want to put them in poses or anything else, that's kind of a bit of movement to them. That's what you can kind of do, but it depends on the figure and then your imagination and time as well. Some people just want to put them in what they call museum poses, basically have them standing, but I like to have them all kind of what they're supposed to be doing, move them around. And unlike statues, you can actually repose them every so often. So let's see if we can have Batman and the mutant leader going already. Again, articulation here. So again, you can actually position them off each other so they can offset against each other to kind of pose. And there you go. So you can have them fighting in the junkyard in the middle of the mud. Mud is optional. Now, let's see what accessories we get. With these figures, I'll put them over here. And you can duke her out while Carrie watches. Shouting on for a boss. And Commander in the Batmobile at the end of it. So, as with the other Batman animated series figures, you always get an extra tray. Just get careful with the blades. And what we're getting here is, get these out of the way. Most of the time it's optional parts, and the very nice touch they've added since the very beginning is these little animation stands based on the original models. As soon as I stop wrecking the gaff here. So, we have more tape. tape. Again, this is €70 for the whole set, which is actually pretty good for 3 figures. But you consider 2 of them are really chunky figures. So for the mutant leader, call him Daisy for the time being. That's an official name I give him. You get these stands that come with most of the animated figure range. They're pretty standard, not great in my recommendation. The new stands are giving you with the new DC movie range, and some of the icons are actually a lot better. But this is basically what this does. You can kind of extend it in and move it out, and it's supposed to basically hold the figure. You put the stand figure there. So just for argument's sake, you'll see all these figures come around most of the DC collection figures, but as you can see, they won't really do much. The figure just kind of stands there. And that's it. So it's a nice little addition. For the mutant leader, you get extra set of hands, open palm hands. So you basically attach them on there like so, so you can kind of fist punch or grab Batman. Let's move him over here. Carry on the other hands. You'll notice I don't use instructions. I'm a bit of a maverick, and basically same with Transformers. I like to figure things out. So, but we recommend anybody else can use the instructions just to make sure any breakages or any fracture points. But this is what the video is for. So if we mess up, we show you where you can not to do what Jay does. So for Robin, same thing. Again, all the stands are kind of generic size, so no matter if the character's small or big, they give you the same sort of thing. But my gripe with these is that actually, where's her hands? Because you basically give her little Dennis the Menace slash Bart Simpson style gat here. So that goes into the hand there, and like all of them, just basically give it a bit of a turnaround force, loosen her up, and you can pop her out. Again, very thin, so just watch the pressure, and if you want to heat her up beforehand, and just slowly push it, and there you have it. So she can look like she's about to fire something at the mutant leader. Because the bases and stands are all the kind of same height, it kind of impedes the cape, is what I find with most of these. So I try to get most of my freestanding, but as you can see, it kind of interferes with the cape there. So you can kind of put it sideways if you like. But it's not a great fit. Like, they should be making specialized stands for certain size figures, but that's all we can do. So Robin comes with open flap palms, and then hands that can grip the catapults there as well. So that's what we have for her. Now Batman, or Dark Knight, same thing, same as Mutant Leader, has one of these to himself. You can kind of you can tell where the bottom piece is. There's always a little notch right here that goes in right here and goes flat against the back of it. And again, this will be impeded by the cape. Again, you get open hands. Let's try, and straight away Batman's a lot looser than I was expecting to be straight out of the box, so it's kind of a good thing and a bad thing. So again, hands off, pick your right side hands. So there we're going to put in, and then slowly push in. You're going to click, and he's moving. So looks like he's going to punch his hands or just be like, hi. But Batman's pretty sturdy on his own. He will stand on his own. I don't think he needs the base, but just for completionists and just to show we did it. Open her up, cape behind, move up here so you can see, and it's not even going to reach around the middle-sized belt, but you get the gist of it. So basically, here's what you get with Batman. So Batman versus the Mutants, and with Carrie Kelly as Robin. So me myself, I wouldn't be happy with just like as this. I'd be positioning it more like this. Look. This is where you can, anybody with, if you like cartoons around it, this is how all sorts of things are made. You can basically rearrange them, take great photos, and do set dioramas and things like that. So you can have Batman wailing on the Mutant Leader. He's the surgeon, this is the operating table. And then you can, it's curious to see if herself can kind of stand on Batman. Because again, being a kind of little waif thing that she is, she could possibly stand on Batman. Let's see how good she is. No, he's moving now. But you get the idea, it's going to try and pose her sitting on Batman's shoulders. Because some of the artwork has depicted her just basically being able to sit atop Batman and just impose that mountain shadow. But we'll just leave her off to the side there for the time being and just let him keep kicking the mud out of him. So it's a pity that Batman's ankles aren't articulated enough so you can actually get more pose out of him, but you get the gist of it. So there you go. That is DC Collectibles, the Dark Knight, Legends of the Dark Knight, Batman the Animated Series, based on the episodes, the Legends of the Dark Knight series, 3-pack box set. It's €70. It's currently in stock, and unlike Robin Falling Down, it's fairly sturdy, fairly chunky, very reliable. Does what it says in the thing. If you're a fan of the episode, it's a great addition. If you're collecting all the rest of the characters as well, it's a nice piece. Like I'm glad they're bringing all these little ancillary bits out as well. Batman, like I said, is huge compared to a standard Batman figure. So for the price you're spending alone on these two figures, they're probably worth the admission price alone. So don't forget, go watch Dark Knight. Read Dark Knight and then go watch the movie again so you can see where it all comes from, and this classic episode again, and then go watch the rest of our videos. You can leave any comments or any recommendations you want us to do, or any hints and tips you think we missed and might have missed out on, and you can leave them in the comments below and we'll address them, and we'll see you back here next time.